Hello, welcome to another Trainz live stream. So in this live stream, we're going to follow a similar format to the last one, where first I'll showcase all the stuff that I've built since the last time I live streamed, and then if there is time left, which there may or may not be, we might also get to some route building. Who knows? So, hello Kango Fango in chat, Wasted Tries, hello, hello, hello. And, Eldassi, hello Eldassi, welcome. So last time, I had worked a little bit on this area, but all the stuff that's new is pretty much all of this up there, around here, and all of this whole area, pretty much. And from here, all of that is city, and here is also town. So there's quite a lot to see. So I suppose we should probably get started. Let me know about the audio if that's probably a little quiet. Hold on. Sound, yeah, let's put that a little bit louder. That's probably a little bit better. So this is up at Benswood Junction, which is the bit that I've built a long time ago. So that's the main line down there. And this is the little diesel line that goes past Hepperswaith that I've already showed previously. All the work that I've done is this way. So, yeah, let's get started. And I will be pausing the game when there's specific stuff to showcase. Also, this will be third rail electrified. I've just not done that yet. Sound the horn? Okay. The horn is quite quiet on this train. I can make the volume a little bit louder if you like. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of this down here is new as well. And we will be going over this in the other direction as well, because it looks quite a bit different depending on which way you go. And like there's quite a lot of detail back here as well. Like, for example, little cottage and different things. Like I also added a wind turbine over here and filled out a lot of the scenery back here. Game's still really quiet, okay. There we go, that shouldn't be too quiet now. So over on the left there, actually 1 second, I'll pause here. So it's by the level crossing. So on the left here, I also filled out the landscape a bit more. So there's an old windmill up here and a little farmstead. And you can actually see this from a long ways away. Like if you go all the way over here to not Swanley, Duckley. Swanley is the real one. Then you can see those trees all the way back there. So those are the hills that are new that you can see from all the way back there as well. Yeah, the windmill is animated. It's not. Oh, all right. You mean the old windmill? Yeah, it is animated when I unpaused. Thumbnail. I can try to see if this is if this would be a good thumbnail. Maybe. Oh, hold on. don't really want to spend too much time trying to make thumbnails. Right, let's continue. Maybe change the time of day? Nah, not now. Not now. So last time I was talking about wanting to have another little town on the right here for the diesel line to go to, which I have added. Also another little detail on the right here is a forestry area, like a managed forest, managed woodland, which does add a bit of depth when you're looking over this way. And yes, that is a really big pile of rocks on that hill. That is a tor, like you tend to see in places like Dartmoor or Exmoor. And there's actually another one back there as well. So if I quickly pause, there's another tor up here. Also, this is the little diesel line that goes through a tunnel there. So of course this is the newer line of the two. Oh, hello Marky, welcome. Was wondering earlier when your next Trainz build stream was going to be. Well, I mean, that depends entirely on how long the showcase part takes. So this is downhill, with a grade of negative 1.33%. So not too steep. But here you can see the town in the distance, which is Adelbury. And so we're going to be going over there, if that wasn't clear. And here I've also got the older type of track with the wooden sleepers. And then just as we get into Adelbury, before the station, it will switch over to the more modern kind of tracks with the concrete sleepers. Also this area over here, I do still need to fill in with fields. There will be hedges in this area. That's not entirely finished yet, but that's only a small thing to finish. More country houses on the left there. Then as we come down here, the maximum speed increases from 55 miles per hour to 65, although there isn't much distance to use it if we stop at Adelbury. Then we get over here, where this old farmhouse is, with a big old tree. Hello, Slivergeagle, welcome. And here, I've added a nice little kind of lore detail. What assets are the Tors using? I'll link it to you when we've... Actually, you know what? I can do it now, because this is TRS 22. I can just go into the surveyor and get you the asset. So here is the KUID. You're really good at route building. I'm also working on a railroad. It's fictional. The name of it is Zork's Railroad. Ooh, nice. How far have you gotten? And which country is it set in? Since you say railroad, I'm assuming the US? Hey, the massive rocks made for Czechia have so many uses. So, yeah, so there's a nice little bit of history here, because the original road that crossed here used to use a level crossing. So it used to go down here, and then straight on here, cross the tracks, and then just continue straight on this way. However, that's also why there's still this old crossing keeper's cottage here from those days, where you can see there's still a window on there. However, when this got electrified and more traffic went down here, like when the extension to Benswood Junction got built and all that stuff, they decided that there's too much traffic here for a level crossing, and so they needed a grade separated crossing, which is when they built the bridge and the new road going over the top. So then they had this big hole in the dry stone wall, and they patched it up with this kind of concrete cement wall section, but you can still see where the original gaps used to be. So now as we're coming into Aylesbury, we've got a bit of an industrial estate on the left, and we've got a soccer field on the right. And I will show you around a little bit more once I've entered the station. And that's also when I'll read chat. Also, I do need to fix this crossing slightly, because at the moment it opens when a train stops near it. And so, on the one hand, that's good. On the other hand, since it's right in front of the station, that is a bit problematic, because then if a train starts rolling, like if a train's in the station and starts rolling, then the crossing triggers, and then it takes a while to go down, and then the train's already on there before it even has a chance to close. I still need to place a few more houses on the right here as well, so that's not 100% finished quite yet. So Aylesbury is also the station that a lot of the kind of commuter trains, like intra-city commuter trains, are going to terminate at or turn around at. So let's have another look at the scenery as you come in here. So on this side you've got the soccer field with the stands and things like that, an administrative building. I recognize those houses. You will recognize a lot of houses. Yeah. Also you've got horses, very high pulley horses. It's fine, you only see them from here. Like here they've got a bit of industry over here as well. I mean, a lot of these probably used to have rail access, but not anymore. Actually, I should read chat. They played enough Transport Tycoon to know level crossings ain't the way to go. True. Too risky, they noted. No, it's in a world fantasy I'm working on called Zorks. Oh, so what assets are you using? Are you using like the Mars stuff, or is it like a is it like a fantasy world in the sense of it's fiction, or in the sense of it's like mystical and things? Self-inspired? I don't know. Ooh, Central Trainz, 1 for fate. There's a reason why that's there. I recognize those houses, yes. Is it TRC crossing? If so, just ensure the train stops within the trigger and crossing. Yes, it is a TRC crossing. At the moment I've got it set to automatic, but I will need to change that, so yes. Right. Now, there are also quite a few details on the, like, when I build towns or stuff like that, you've got the tracks, and then the most detail right next to the tracks, and also in kind of a stripe along the tracks. So we've got the deliberately placed roads and houses and stuff, and then you've just got this just filler houses on the side. So if you look at it, so let's look at a few kind of more detailed spaces. So like here, I filled kind of a few of these awkward little spaces up with garages, which just make it feel a lot nicer and filled out. OOSFX garages. Yeah, they are really good because they've got great textures, and also they've got LODs, so I can use them without worrying much. And also I varied the kind of boundary splines. Like this, I've got this brick wall here, then I've got hedges, I've got this kind of light brown wooden fence, then I've got this stone brick fence, this other stone brick fence, and then also another, where is it? Over here, another kind of wooden fence as well. So I try to vary those, as well as like the paths leading to the doors. I've got that kind of gravel one, and then I'm also using that stone wall. Which one? That's a wooden fence. That's a brick wall, wooden fence. You don't get stone fences. I don't think did I call it a stone fence? I thought I called it a brick fence. This over here, that's a wooden fence. That's not a wall. Brick fence. You did, brick fence. Oh, well, I didn't even notice. Yeah, you've also got some kind of garden plantation sort of things here. And just a whole lot of these little details just around, really. Over here is this is where the tracks change from one to the other. And then as it goes over, this still uses the old wooden sleeper tracks. This will not be electrified, these two tracks here, because this is where the diesel line will end, which is why I've got this unit sitting here, because this station has more interesting platform and track layout with the two terminating platforms on either side. And then you've got a little loop for the buses to stop here, and also a taxi which has parked very well, I'm sure you'll agree. I've also put in like little footpaths here and there that kind of connect different places, because if you spot those, then it really makes it a lot easier to imagine what it would be like to kind of walk around here and explore stuff. Also, this has an observatory attached. So yeah, I still need to fill in houses on this little area as well. And you've got an old Tesco's. Also over here slightly, but never mind about that, that's fine. So when we continue, we'll go straight ahead, but I did also do a little bit more scenery over on the left, so I'll just quickly fly back there and then we'll continue straight ahead after that. So if you go left, then the speed limit goes up to 75 miles per hour. You go under this stone bridge here, which is just access to fields and things. Go further on, and then you encounter this elevated highway or motorway where you've got the big river and kind of a marshy wetland on either side. The tracks pass right under the bridge and then continue along at the bottom of this retaining wall with the motorway on top. And so it goes on for a stretch like that, and there is a walkway up here as well. So you can go for a walk and enjoy the trains and other things as well if you want. Then you get a bridge. I haven't extended the motorway more here yet. That'll come later. Over on this side, the bridge, it'll turn to an embankment and then meet up here where the canal is. And I've already got a little bit of the station here, which I think I might have had before already. I'm not entirely sure. And then here, this is just, I've not done much work here. I have placed a few buildings that I found that I would like to have here in the future, but I guess we can quickly kind of follow this along how I've currently got it planned. So this will connect over here to Fancy Dame Bridge, which are the lower tracks. And then the other line that branches off goes this way. And then this will connect over, if I do build all of this how I've got it planned. But this will connect over here at Fawnfield, where it goes underneath and connects back up there. Or if you take the other side of this kind of big Y, goes through here and connects up to this area where we did build some stuff on stream. So yeah, that's kind of like this kind of loop area here. You can also go the other way and then end up on this elevated track if you like. But yeah, so that's what I've currently got on this way. But I didn't spend most of my time building this area. That's the straight area where we'll go next. There is also this intersection which has a pedestrian overpass and a bit of a separated walkway, so you can actually walk down to Aylesbury from here with a little bit of a gap to the road if you want to walk along here. Right, so yeah, I'll rechat and then we'll get going again, heading straight ahead. Potted rosemary crops, maybe. Kagavanga, no, Zorks is a world I made up. It's kinda more like Avatar, the last Airbender inspired, because everyone in the world is born with one of the 16 elements instead of 4 like Avatar. Alright, interesting, not even seen that show myself. Out of interest, do you plan on making your own asset rolling stock for that, or to look properly fantasy? Or what rolling stock are you planning on using? At some point, yes, but I don't know how to do it. I haven't played Trainz since 2014. I used to play Train Simulator. I see. So, when you're building that map, like, are you using your own scenery assets, or are you... I would love to see some screenshots of the map, let's put it that way. Because I've got a lot of questions, and I think some screenshots would answer those most efficiently. Right, I see. Well, good luck with that. It all works out. Fancy Dame Bridge? Yes. Fawnfield? Thanks, Ingafango. Are you working on a railroad? I've been working on a railroad all the livelong month. No. Lots of loops means a lot more potential paths. Should be cool. Yes. I mean, that's the whole idea behind making this a network, that you have a lot of different paths where if you play a session, you start over here, and then you go up there, and then you start a session somewhere else, and you go over here, and then you cross over that path, and you say, oh wait, this connects over here, wait, now I'm here again, I recognize this place, how did I get over here? That sort of thing. It's just a question of how long it will take to build all of these connections in here, so I may need to cut a little bit of some things depending on how long it might take. Like, for example, over here I've got the line that goes along the canal, and then I've got this other line that goes parallel with it for quite a bit. So I might end up moving this over so that it merges in there, or maybe this one merges in over here. And so I might cut down on building time a little bit like with something like that, but we'll see. I have started many. One I most recently worked on was my very first Poland, Eastern European inspired one. Not worked on it too recently, but I would like to get into it again. It would be fun to stream it again too. Interesting. I'm just using what the game offers. Right. Here's a picture of the first baseboard. Let's have a look. That looks very nice. You do like taking photographs in morning or evening. PL1 is the route's working title. Poland 1, basically. What is the purpose of the 3 disconnected base spots on the left? Oh, you mean these over here? That is where I take the... It's basically my backup for the scrapbook assets that I make. So when I was making the forest, I've got a couple different scrapbook assets for like the more detailed forest, the less detailed forest, the conifer forest, the more detailed hedge, the less detailed hedge. Actually, it's the other way around. And so I kind of make a square of those assets that I want to use here with all the ground textures and stuff, select it and copy it as a scrapbook asset. But if that ever gets deleted or I need to change around some assets and stuff like that, then I can just do it here. And I'm sure that all of the assets that I put down will still be in it. Because while I could, for example, with a forest, say if I wanted to change around some assets, if one of the assets didn't work right and I wanted to change it out for another asset, I could just bulk replace it. And then to update the scrapbook asset, I could just select a chunk of forest here and copy that. But since when you paste in assets or you draw them on, things overlap and cut each other off, and so you might have half the forest here and then half the forest repeated at an angle or stuff like that. And so then you could end up not having certain assets at all that you've put down. And so I just keep a kind of a clean section that I can copy from whenever I need. I've also got the grass section here, which, yes, this grass section is the same section that I've painted pretty much all over the route, yes, while rotating it so that it doesn't look too repetitive. But yes, that is that small section that's just continuously pasted all over the place. Over here I've got the different town layouts. This was my first attempt at kind of making a town scrapbook asset, but it didn't work out great. I tried making the roads connect at the different points, but then, yep, that didn't work out great. But then I made this little section, which works out much better, especially since the houses have a lot less polygons to work with, and they still have the colors of the houses that I want when viewed from a distance, and so this worked much nicer. Plus they don't have particles as well. Then over here is the city scrapbook asset that I made, and here's a list of different buildings that I can take from when I need to. Over here on the third one, I've got the more spread out version of the city scrapbook thing, because I know that you can change the scale, which will spread out the buildings more, so I could do that, but a lot of these assets are placed right next to each other to form these rows, and if I just increase the scale, there'd be gaps between all the buildings. And so I had to manually make a more spread out version of it for the more distant kind of filler city area. So yeah, that's what the 3 baseboards are all about. Now it's time for a bit more chat and then we'll continue. Oh, that's cool. Great. I do that. Have a template baseboard. Nice. Oh yeah, Kango, how's your route going? How's your routes going? Says Eagle. Marky says, I name an object template, then just search for it to quickly go there and select them. Yeah, that works too. Although I find just having the separate baseboards works well for me. I've just gone to 100% scrapbook. Yeah, the scrapbook is a really powerful tool if you use it correctly. Like for example, with the hedges, it's so easy to draw them on, but you do tend to get repetitive patterns of assets. So you do still need to manually move them around or change the height of them, which that is something that I do a lot. Like for example here, you can see, though these are all the same couple of bush assets, and I did paint that on with the scrapbook brush, but then I manually moved went along moving the bush objects slightly, and then putting these down in the ground a bit more to form kind of a dip here, and over here as well to form another dip. So then you've got kind of this wave in the height of the bushes, which looks a lot more visually pleasing when you're going by, as opposed to if it's all the same height and stuff like that. And sometimes I also delete certain conspicuous objects like this tree in situations. And so, yeah, it definitely takes some skill to use, but it does make a lot of things so much easier and faster. Kango says, you remember the Half-Life 2 joke reference thingy I built back in August? Since then I have extended the route a bit along the river and cleared an area for a coal mine. Maybe you should play some work and resources to get yourself ready for that. But I've really not done any work on it since then. Ah, yes. But I would really like to stream development on the route too. Just need to find a suitable template for it. But right now I don't really have one. I have some scrapbooks, but I don't even have a template. I just make something and then copy it when I need it. Lol. Yeah, I mean, whatever works for you. That's a great thing about having such versatile tools. You can use them in a lot of different combinations. When I do work somewhere on the route, I will post updates in PL1 on my server. Right. Shreddays, will you have a signal on the footbridge too somewhere? A signal on the footbridge. I've got signals near footbridges, like over at Benswood Junction, for example. Well, I mean, I've got this here on the bridge, and over at Oscombe Beach, I've got a signal here right under the footbridge, as well as over here right under the footbridge, but I don't have one on the footbridge. On Tuesday, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's continue with the showcase. Ahem. I said let's continue with the showcase. There we go. And you can already see the city's skyscrapers in the distance there. And the city still doesn't have a name, neither does the route, but that will come. That will come. Full shoes ahead. And so we've got a little grade crossing here with the proper signage as well. And of course also telephone, because you need to phone someone if you want to open that gate to let them know that you're doing that. And then here we go onto an elevated kind of filled in viaduct, which I really wanted to have a couple of sections like this on the route, and I'm so glad that I found a proper place for it. Yeah. So here it follows the highway as well. The sounds are cool too. Oh, yeah, I didn't make the sounds. The sounds are an asset that's already on the DLS. I just made this model and textures, but I did not make the sounds. There are some issues with the sound asset as well, but yeah, I'm not sure if I can fix those or make a better one. Yeah, and then here you've got the section of viaduct that's not filled in because they want the water to go through, and also the highway paralleling it, and I really like how this looks, where you're just driving along and then you've got the trains driving past at level. I really like how that looks. And you can see the highway bridge over there where the other line goes. Now, up front, we have what currently I'm calling Torquetown, but I'm not 100% sold on that name yet, so I may change that name, which this, at one point in its history, was a separate settlement, but now it's grown together with the city and is basically a suburb. I will, once we stop at the station here, I'll show you around a little bit, and then we'll continue on as well. And yeah, this is really nice if you're driving in the cab and you're just seeing the roofs like at level. No, yeah, torque, as in the Celtic kind of ornament thing, like the jewelry thing. So, yeah, this is currently Torquetown Station, although it sounds too much like Toontown. Also, I did just now see that there are some people standing in midair, which I did not know that this asset had people able to stand there. So I will need to fix that at some point. Anyway, as you come into Torquetown, you've got this lovely bridge of over the canal. Then you've got some old industrial buildings along here that were once used, probably in Victorian times still, and then some more modern houses along there with a great water view. And the people who move in here probably do so thinking they've got a lovely view of the water and people walking around and stuff, but then they don't know that there are midges all over the place. Fun fact, there are more midges here than there are in Midgeswich. Yeah, that's totally true and fun fact. Over here, you've got an old slipway for like river, well, canal boats and things. You've got an old steam-powered winch that used to pull them up out of the water. And then you've got an old narrowboat here with some flowers and benches, which has been converted at some point. And then you've also got a footbridge going across. Then there are also loads of little details in here, like the little kind of flower meadow with some raspberries. And yeah, there's just generally a lot of little streets connecting everything, and lots of manual placements of stuff. So this is the underpass where I made sure buses can fit through, and the way to get up to and down from the station is of course through these long ramps here. So if you look down through there, you can see that access. So we've got wheelchair access, and yes, I did look up the maximum permitted grade for wheelchair access is 1 in 12, and so that is the grade that I've got here. On the left here, there's also a bit of a shopping street with, well, some shops. After all, I do love a little shop, me. And I've also got a post office, and also got another kind of through underpass thing here. We can go from one side through the other. I thought about making this another arch, but that didn't really look right, so I just made it openable when I go through. And then you've also got the zebra crossing here to get to the bus stop, so you've got direct access. Over on this side, you've also got a market area down here with benches and bins and trees, so that's also quite nice there. And originally, the station platform length was only that long, which you can see evidenced by where they built where they widened the kind of elevated viaduct, well, the filled-in viaduct, and that comes back in over here. But then, when they wanted to run longer trains, they decided to build an extension of the platform with these with this wooden platform there, which is supported on these metal grates. And also the fence continues on underneath. They didn't get rid of the fence. So yeah, you can actually look underneath this section of the platform. Yes, these are floating passengers. I didn't think that the platform asset had positions here for them to appear there. I only see them now because over time, while streaming, more passengers appeared on the platform, so I will need to fix this. Yeah, so also the kind of metal support spline I use down here totally isn't actually part of a certain catenary asset set No, not at all. Right, so I guess we'll continue on. Well, I'll read chat and then we'll continue on to the next station, and then I will show you around some more over there. So, do you plan on modeling? Kang says, do you plan on modeling one unique, iconic, standout landmark skyscraper for the city, e.g. the Gherkin Shard, Chrysler Building, etc.? I was thinking about it, and initially I did have that as a plan, but I mean, I've still got loads of area over here where I could easily place it, but I don't know if it's a good use of time. Maybe. I'm still not decided yet. I love the detailing at... Oh, right. I love the detailing Charles. Oh, thank you. Bogies and sounds are not Charles. Yes, the bogies too. They're not... Yeah, I didn't make the bogies either. Torque what? Torque Town, yeah. Cab view really reminds me of London's Overground. And I've never even been on it, IRL. Yeah, the cab isn't finished yet. Like, I haven't made any progress on the train since the last time I posted the update thing about it, because I need to get the route finished first, and then I'll finish the train, and then I'll make the sessions, and then everything, all the freeware stuff will get released, and then the route, which is going to be payware, will be released. Right. No. Oh. Its population is measured in Newton meters. Torque. Haha. Maybe torque ton instead? Torquestead. Great. Torque. Haha. Torque field would be my suggestion. Oh, hello, Code Monkey. Welcome. Torque field does sound good, and I may use it. I do have a fawn field already. But maybe. Yeah, torque field. Torque field sounds nice. Like, that's the field where they found the torque. And then they named the town after that field. Slavic Eagle says, so I just got the news that the Skoda Class 363 is close to completion. Needs scripted cab and external textures, and it's effectively finished. Can't show you a pic of the model though. Well, that's good news. There is a link, which I will try to open. 1 second. There we go. Oh, these ones! Ooh, that'll be really nice. Yes, those are floating passengers. Some platform assets allow you to move the passengers. Can you move them closer to the tracks? Maybe. I don't know. If I can't move them closer to the tracks, then I'll have to extend the platform to make that a bit wider. Works too. Oh, there are, I'm assuming, screenshots from Eldaci. Oh, I need to log in to Google to view those. Can't log into Google at the moment, so I can't look at those. If you want to send those, the best way to do so is on my Discord server, which is in the description. You don't have to stay there. If you don't want to, you can just go there, post the screenshots so you can see them, and then leave again if you like. But I can't log into Google at the moment. The links are pics of my railroad. Yep. Says I need to request access first. Yeah. Should be a huge one. You mean a cathedral? Oh, cathedral. Maybe. Although I think a cathedral would take even more time to make than a skyscraper. Or Torque Hill. Sure it is. Bit like Herne Hill in London, possibly. Maybe. Although I've already got a station planned for with a hill in the name. Maybe hill since it got flattened when housing developments happened. Sure, no, a cathedral to place. I think Mark meant possibly. What do you mean? A cathedral to place. I'm not sure. Alt A. Press the Windows key plus print screen, find the screenshots folder on your PC, and you have the pictures there. You don't need to take a photo of your screen. Yes. Yes. Sure. Yes. Glad we're all in agreement. Right, let's continue. I said let's continue. Right, yeah. These trains, I mean, I like them, but they do need to be reminded so often whenever they're supposed to do something. Like, yeah. So then over here you've got a bit more of a modern kind of industrial thing and a parking garage. And then you've got some supermarkets over here with big parking lot. I'll show you around some more, like in a detailed view when we get to the next station, which is not very far away. Now all of this took ages, not literal ages, because a geographical, well, geological age is far longer than this took, but age in the colloquial sense. Because so much more goes into building a town than just putting down the buildings and aligning them to the streets and things. Like, yes, that does all take time, but it's also a question of like having variation in assets. So you've only got a limited amount of assets, but you've got to reuse them, but then you've got to make sure that they don't get boring or repetitive. And then you've also got to think about things like line of sight and height of building, and does it work on a hill, or what kind of colors does it have? Does it fit well with other buildings? Like, for example, over here I used lighter colors here, and then back there as well, and over here. And then all sorts of considerations go into that. And then that does take a long time. So here we're coming up on the next station, which is Chablis Stadium, where we've only got a platform on one side of the tracks, and going the other way, the trains have to cross over, which is a bit of a unique feature here. I've not got that anywhere else on the map yet. We've also got an old park here. So let's stop here, and then I'll show you around. Oh, the doors didn't open on the front one. Weird. Oh, it must be the placement of the asset, like the station asset. Anyway, welcome to Chablis Stadium. You can see the stadium with a magic ball. Right. So, perhaps aside from the stadium, which, yes, I did put the clock on as well, the most interesting feature here is the underground station as well beside it, which is down there. So you've got the main rail network access here, and then you've got the underground station right down there. So there is an underground train just stopped there for reference. This down here is just going to be for AI purposes. And then you've got this lovely glass roof / floor where people can walk across and look down at the other people standing down there. And then you've also got some benches where you can just sit and watch as the trains come in and depart underneath. You've got elevator access, and then you've also got step access. We've got ventilation, and we've got bins. Now, if you're wondering what asset this is, the glass, that is actually a river spline asset. So, yeah. Then you've got taxis over here, where there's some shops there. And then over there you've got bus stops with more parking and some planted flowers in this pattern. I do love to use these old flower assets. And yeah, you've got some pubs over here, because of course. And then more parking over there and stuff. This park, you've got some old gas storage tanks and some tropical trees and things. Monkey puzzles. And then if we're working our way backwards, we've got some more details over here, like some gorse that I've planted there. You've got some modern houses mixed with older houses. Got a nice little apple tree with a path going around it. And if you're looking from above like that, then you can really see that I tried to minimize the amount of time needed to build this, but it still took ages. Got some palm trees over here. And things like that do add a lot of variation and make it feel more realistic. If you add like some palm trees over here, or maybe a conifer there, or some of that tree asset over here, and things like that. Right, then as you come back down over here, you've got a bit of a quarried area where they've got this big parking lot. Maybe this is a hotel or something. Or well, these are definitely hotels here with a swimming pool behind. And then over here in front, you've got a memorial there with a Spitfire on it, and some poppies around. And you've got this memorial asset here, which actually this asset was made to honor a Trainz author who passed away. And so if you look at that underneath, well, actually I can't show you like that, but if it has got the Trainz author name as well and things, so that might have put a thing down there as well. You've got loads of bus stops here and zebra crossings, and then you've got some hopefully noise cancelling bushes over to this little neighborhood where the main road kind of zigzags through, and you've got this elevated road up there that connects back over there. And then you've also got a new construction site for chocolates and pastils, pastils, sure. Yep. And also you've got a little kind of race track here and a car park there, a parking lot there, sorry. And this is a kind of a really good example of what I was talking about with line of sight and height of objects. Because when I was building this, the first, actually I'll read chat first and then I'll continue. Sure, there's huge cathedral to place in the city. An existing one, not modeling one yourself. Maybe. There are those cathedral kind of build-it-yourself assets as well. This name debate is getting a bit tortuous. Ha ha ha. Yeah. That was the idea. I'll definitely be repainting this 465 into SWAT livery, Southwest Trainz, once it's finished. Yes. Y'all can already look forward to that. It'll be on the DLS too. I'm calling it now. Here it is. Hey, you could have put a signal on that footbridge that we passed underneath. Maybe, but I don't know if it's a bit too close. Because I've got well, actually I haven't put it down yet, but I will have a signal here by the station. And then I'll have a signal over here coming into, well, will I have it there? Not sure. It might be a little bit too close. Maybe. Yeah, because, oh, right, here it is. Because I've already got these signals here, which are in the middle of the other two signals. And if I moved these over there, it might be a little bit too close. Plus, I also don't really like the look of it on this footbridge. I might still add it somewhere, but not on that one. Yeah, Shabbly Stadium. Not shabby, if I do say so myself. Oh, the huge clock. Yeah, the glazed roof underground station is such a great feature. Lose packs in the tunnel. What do you mean? Lose packs. I'm not sure what you mean. Looks so good. Yes, it does. Yeah. Better not be wearing a dress. Yeah, I mean, that's on you. It's not like the glass is... It's not like the glass is hard to spot and you can easily walk around to get everywhere. That is entirely on you. Architecture and aesthetics cannot take a backseat to accommodating for you not thinking of where you're going. TM. And there being an old D78 stock down there is just the cream on the cherry. Jacaranda trees, yep. Gas tank park, yep. Hello, Tiger Fire Tails Gaming 06. Welcome. What route are we making today? This is my UK third rail network route that I've been working on for a while. It's got coastal sections, it's got town sections, it's got fast main lines, it's got little diesel lines that kind of wind their way through little towns like that. It's got a seawall. Yeah, it's got a seawall here. It's got quite a few estuaries, and it's also got city stuff. By city stuff, I don't mean politics. I mean actual city things, and a canal. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Although this is the first part of this is an update video for what I've been working on previously, and then we might get to some building this time. Australia's third rail network. Yes, not got a name on that. Yeah. Hello. Yes. DIY cathedral kit. No worries about that signal. Maybe somewhere else. Passengers. Oh. Lose passengers in the tunnel. Oh, I see. Can't get the benches in a dress though. Yes. Get to the benches. Can't get to the benches in a dress though. That's a good point. I might put a couple more benches along the sides. If you care, that is. Yeah, plus, I mean, you don't have any lighting there anyway, so... OMG, I want to drive on this. Well, you will be able to once it's finished. Could not agree more. We all do. Aww. Right, so here, yeah, as it was, back to the example. So this is a great example of like how difficult it can be to properly build scenes like this in a town. Because when I initially, normally when I build a section like this, I put down like important landmarks for scenes first. So over here, I've got like this factory and this flats building there, and then over here I've got like an old palace thing or stuff like that, where I put down like important scene focus points first, and then I look halfway between those and then decide what kind of stuff I want to have there. Like for example here, this big concrete block is kind of the main focus here, and then I went halfway and then decided, okay, we'll have some shopping, like supermarkets there, and then stuff like that. Which means I already knew that I want this big concrete building to be the focal point of the scene, which means it's got to stand out. So not just color-wise, but also, in this case, mostly size-wise. So then I knew that this was in the hill, and I knew I had the 4-lane road coming down here, which incidentally is the road that connects up to here, where the main station is. Which, yes, I'm really happy with how this big station building turned out still anyway. But yeah, so I already knew I was gonna have that road there. Well, that road there, and then it was time to fill in the rest of the stuff. Now, if I had used like these buildings or like the terrace buildings that I made over here, then that would have obscured like half the height of this building, and that would have ruined that view. Plus, I also really liked the looks of this back here, where you've got kind of this embankment with a hedge, and then you've got another street up here with the buildings on top, because that's another unique little thing that you can spot, which makes the... which do you send the pics in? Trainz screenshots would be the correct channel. I'll have a look at them when you posted them. Yeah, so if you look over here, in Trainz screenshots or in route talks, either one would be good. Yeah. Right. Anyway, so I also wanted this back here to be visible, and that definitely would not be visible if I used like taller buildings. So I knew that I would have to use lower buildings, like these small 2-story houses. So I filled in this little area so that you've got kind of a line of sight from here going straight across, cutting across there, all the way across to here from that low height. But then I knew that I had to pick even lower objects for this front, because then these would be covering it. And so if you look at it like that, you can see these houses here, these semi-detached houses, are actually lower than the ones in the back. And so I filled this area in with those. And to kind of, I knew that I was also going to have higher buildings here, because I was going to fill in the back with this kind of city brush. I knew I would have to have some sort of transition height-wise, because just having these little standalone houses next to like these really tall terrace city buildings wouldn't look great. So I decided to put in kind of a crescent of these kind of middle-ish height buildings. So you can see on the left you've got the higher buildings, then you've got these ones, and then you've got the small ones there. And so, yeah, so you've got that transition that way. And then to kind of underline more the height of this building on the right, I also put some poplars in here that kind of reach high above the buildings to bring a bit more verticality into the scene. But all of that would be just thrown away if there were buildings right next to the tracks, because even with lower buildings, like these ones, for example, if you look this way, you can't see anything behind it if you're that close. So I had to keep these kind of 3 lots, well, very low, like no buildings whatsoever. So I decided to fill one with a parking lot, fill one with a construction zone, and fill one with a racetrack. So that now you've got a clear view of the scene and basically that whole thing. So figuring all of that out and then finding the correct assets and then placing them all and rotating them all and aligning them all and all that stuff, it takes time. But yeah, this is actually a really good example of that sort of thing. I'll read chat and then I'll show you the rest back there, and then we'll continue. Right, chat. Thanks for the tip, yeah. Do you plan on having Quilk in any town name still? I remember that from the very first 2 world building streams of route. Maybe. Maybe. Right. Oh, right, the image. Did you posted? Oh, right. So is this... Which version of Trainz is this? This is... Oh, Tiers 22. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I like that you put the detail in of street lights. That's very nice. What's that down there? Is that... Because that almost looks like a... See, it looks like we're analyzing some sort of ARG or something. Because that looks a bit like a marina, just looking off into the chasm there. That's interesting. This reminds me a lot of my early Trainz routes as well. Just kind of a flow of consciousness, kind of just putting everything on there, that sort of thing. Let's have a look at the second one. Oh, right. I like how there's a little kink in the tracks back there. It's not just fully straight along. There's a little bit of a kink there. That's nice. Also, is that the gum tree asset group that I've used over here as well? Like this gum tree group? I think it is. Hold on. Yeah, look. Because over here you've got this tree with those 2 branches going off, and here this tree with the 2 branches going off. If you switch back here, tree with 2 branches going off, tree with 2 branches going off. It's the same asset. Haha. I knew I recognized it. In terms of constructive feedback, I mean, obviously I don't know your world building, but I would say having like hedgerows to kind of fill out the fields would be a good thing, as well as maybe using some grass splines along the tracks so that it doesn't look as flat. That can also help a lot. And if you've got these long sections of track like this, it can also be good to like add like old rusty rails next to them, or like sleepers that they replaced a long time ago but just left next to the track. And that sort of thing can also help make really long sections more interesting. It can also, and this is actually a tip that Slovak Eagle gave me as well way back when, which is even if you've got like a really flat area, having slight increases or decreases of elevation of gradient, like even if it's just a meter gaining or losing over like a couple 100 meters or something like that, that can still make it a bit more interesting as well. But I also really like the skybox you chose and things. Though I can't really see that much from just those 2 pictures. Ah, look, you're on stream. Eagle, you're on stream. Mickey, you're on stream. Well, I gotta tell him. There you go. You're on stream. Yay. No, I've got to tell Mickey. Mickey's not in chat, is he? Are they? I don't know. Right, now back to reading chat. Right. Showdown's live meme reaction, yes. You're welcome. That was funny, yeah. Almost done though. Good. I only ever made 2 sessions, but I know the feeling, yeah. But I still cut it short by 1 train. Start chanting, you can do it. Or should I keep that 1 more train in? It depends how much work it is. If you feel that the session already has a lot to put across and to be fun for the player, then leave the train out and put that time into making either a new session or something else. If you think the train adds significantly or enhances it significantly, then add it. Alright. Turn up. Yes, good, but good. One idea in that construction site, maybe add a slightly deeper dugout hole somewhere in the culvert pipe spine poking through. I have done stuff like that before somewhere. But I don't think here. I don't want to pull focus too much to the construction site. I might do that on a different construction site. That would be really fun. Share this, analyze ARGs live on stream. Or I make an ARG and you analyze it on stream. That sounds even more fun. Looks like it. Gum tree group. And cuts and fills even when it's level. Yes, that's also a good tip. Like even... yes. Yeah, like even when it's straight, just have the tracks go down or up a little bit to add a little bit of variation. Or just add some very slight hills. Even if it's just, the hill is just a couple meters tall, it can still add a lot. Right. It's simple to add it, but at this point you have shunted 3 other trains. Load and unload, process, different cargo. I'm scripting shunting at the harbor. Ah. Oh, so you mean a train for the player to handle. How long does the session take to play currently? Even when, well, especially if you add in the time it takes for the player to figure out how to, well, planning, basically. If you take into account planning and actually doing the thing. How long? 30 minutes. Wait, fourth time's the charm, as they say. 30 minutes in total. I think leave the train out. And because players are probably gonna be like 10 to 15 minutes over that time, and so keeping the sessions a little bit shorter is probably a good thing. So I would keep the train out in that case. Right. So, a little bit more to show. Also, another thing that I found out is if you're making a town or a city where you've got buildings next to the tracks, it really helps to change the angle that the buildings have to the track. So what I mean by that is, over here, when I first started building the city on this stretch, most of the buildings are just on the road that's paralleling the tracks, which makes sense with this big main line going over here. But it can feel artificial in certain locations. It can feel like everything's just following the tracks, as though the tracks are the center of the universe, sort of thing. Like over here where the buildings follow the curve, it could feel like that. It doesn't in this particular instance, but it could. Oh, hello, Mickey, welcome! Just showing the progress that I've made since the last time I streamed this route. So what you can do is alternate between having the buildings going parallel with the track, for sale, or being at a 90-degree angle to the tracks. Like over here on this section, I've got the buildings paralleling, then I've got them at a 90-degree angle. Then over here I've got them paralleling for quite a distance, and then I've got them at a 90-degree angle, and that sort of thing. So that is one step of that, which does help a lot. However, it helps even more if you don't just make it at a 90-degree angle, but you made it at like a 45-degree angle. So over here, these houses, for example, because as you're coming along down here, you notice, well, it looks like the roads that end here, that the tracks cut off, had whatever angle they had before the tracks came through, and that's what you want to go for. So on this stretch, I also put that in as well, like over there, for example. Or as you're coming back here, these are at 90-degree, then these ones are at an angle, and then these ones are at 90-degree going along, and so on. Also flowers, flowering bushes, yes. A bush. So, yes. Oh, right. Over here, this was fun to do. The parking lot and the markings and stuff, that was fun to do. Over here, I also decided to get a little bit fancy with the houses by having this hedge between the pavement here and the pavement there, and then having the houses connect to that, and then having garages on the back of the houses that connect to a dirt road, so you've got car storage there, which if you're not paying attention, you won't notice, but the hedge you will. If you're just going along here, you will notice that there's a bit more space there if you look over. So yeah, that is that. I don't think that there was anything else I wanted to show over here, so I think we can continue? Question mark? Just having a quick little look. Yeah, I think that's everything I want to show here. Oh, in cab, no idea. Especially as it's a steamer you're shunting with. Oh, I see. Are you sure that the steamer you're shunting with works properly in cab mode? Because I know some of them have issues where the coal or water doesn't refill properly. Living out, yeah, is better. Welcome in, yes. Is there a Summerfield on this route? There is a Summerfield trailer, which is over here. But see, I know exactly where I've placed each and every asset on this route. But no, I don't think that there's a Summerfield shop. Actually, there might be one in Oscombe. Who knows? Scenery areas are already like this. Some are field, some are not. Exactly. Some are field, yes. I think it does. If not, I can place the engine spec. Nice. It helps us do work in cab mode, yes. Right, let's continue. Oh, also, actually, hold on, before we continue. On this little station here, I did also put ticketing machines and things around here, so that all looks all nice and good. Let's continue. I also used the smaller mile per hour signs here, where there's not that much space. And then, of course, you've got the feather on the signals and things like that. Some more construction, a playground. That's a little Easter egg there, one that's very easy to spot. I'll show you that one in a bit more detail in a moment when we get there. So then, yeah, so you were on the elevated track all the way going in, and then you were down in an embankment, well, in a cutting, sorry, and now you're on level. Then you squeeze through here, and you squeeze under here, and then you get to what I'm currently calling Housing Row, which that name may change. It's still up for change. So I'll stop here and then show you a little bit of the stuff that's there. There isn't that much in that little section. It's only a little section, but I will show it nonetheless. So doors. Okay, well, these ones open. Okay, so on this section, again, the height thing, where I wanted you to be able to see the parking garage back there, so I used lower buildings in front. Same thing here. There's a little Easter egg where this girl's getting picked up by friends. You can see one of them's waving out, and the other guy's coming over to pick her up, and they're gonna go on a holiday maybe. Who knows where they're gonna go? I have no idea. And then, yeah, just more parking here and there. And here, the kind of the story behind this place is that originally the road used to curve around here and go straight through here, and the road actually used to go this way and then connect here and go straight ahead and connect over to wherever it's going. But then when they built the railway and they had to put the station there, they thought, okay, either they can demolish the buildings and go that way, or they can just put the road on the other side of the buildings and then put the railway in the middle. And so they bricked up the the doors and put the railway in between. And just so that people who only play the route and don't watch the streams have a possibility of getting that, just, well, other than just looking at stuff like this, I've put in street names. So you've got New Street over there, which is of course the new street that they built there when this street got removed. So you've got Housing Row this way and that way. And then over on the other side, over here, you've got Housing Row Street going that way and that way. And then you've got Churchill Road going up there. But yeah, you've got the street signs still for the street that once used to be there. Also, again, putting tall trees in front of the tall thing to make it look a little bit more interesting. And I won't repeat myself too much, but yeah, just little scenes here and there. There's definitely a Summerfield sign. I don't think it's an actual store set that exists. Go Go 60. Go 70. Lol, it's 45 in town. Yep. Carson Row? No. Hazen. White Volvo. FH22. Lovely. Sure. Should the Carson Row Cafe get a light up neon sign thingy too? What do you mean? I'd love to help out with the 3D tracing and a font text element with map maps. What do you mean? Not sure what you mean. Now, not sure how easy that'd be to set up. Oh, Harlener, like the German word for hair, yes. Germanic heritage? Maybe. Sure, it's where the lines split by the station. Oh, you mean this here? Maybe, but I want to get all the broad stuff done first. No, that's not a hint that I'm doing broad gauge. Just broad brush strokes, I mean. Right. Anyway. There's a cafe, a sign for that, yes. So now let's continue. And this is where I was building last, before the stream. Would that be something I could help out with, Charles? Making that sign? Maybe. So when more of the route is actually properly finished, and that includes scenery and building like platform furniture, putting electrification on, fixing level crossings, updating little bits here and there. Then we'll see. Then we'll see. Maybe. Right. So here you're really getting into the downtown part of the city, where this is. Yeah, this is what I was working on. Before the stream, basically. So, got a roundabout there. You've got some planters there with trees in them. And then, yeah, you're splitting off in the station approach. And you've got one track going down there through the bushes, other track going over here, the other track going down there through the bushes. And so this all just splits off. It's fun going down there, that's nice. Also, I really like how close the trains go by the windows here. Also, I added the road connection up there, which previously wasn't here as well. Also, these buildings on the left up to the corner are also new. Speeding a little bit, that doesn't matter. Also, did I show? I think I showed you this down here. All the stuff that I put. Yeah, I showed that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did. Okay. Good. Or the unique skyscraper, possibly? Maybe. Come on, go 120 miles per hour. Be a daredevil. No. Or did I say yes? Who knows? Would guarantee a horrific crash at this point, yeah. Although if you could accelerate 120 miles per hour that quickly, then you can probably also decelerate that quickly. I'm gonna keep raising the numbers. Of course you are. Would be all over the BBC News. Yeah. Yeah, probably. I'm gonna dare him to slow down. Haha. Okay. Fine. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna take your dare. There we go, see? Accepted the dare. See, I am a daredevil, after all. Also, do you want model trains? Model trains are really nice. Right, so... we're not quite done with the showing stuff yet. Also, this is what it looks like down here, so you just kind of narrowly squeeze your way down between there and then up this way and then connect back up. So, MVR advert. Yes, of course. Of course. But it's not just the MVR. There's also the CMR and also Central Europe. And down here is a German steamer. Also, beware of trains. There's lots of little Easter eggs on the storefronts, well, the shop fronts along here. Better shameless than shameful, I say. So, I am... Actually, tell you what. Let's take this train out of here in the cab mode, back over to Aylesbury, then switch to the diesel to show the little diesel branch over to the other little town that I haven't showed yet. So, I think that's going to be fun. Hahaha. Charlize, no, that's no German steamer. No German steamer? You mean it's not the one that's in the Nuremberg Railway Museum? It sure looks like it. Awesome. Thank you. This was the LMS Coronation Scott. This picture. No. Totally not. Yes, it is. I was wondering if someone was going to notice. This is going to look so nice with so many AI trains coming in and going out all over the... well, all the time. The train's Scottish? Coronation Scott. No. It was the... the LNER. No. No, not LNER. LNER was Mallard. The other one... what was the other one called? LMS, right? London, Midland, Scotland. I think. London, Midland, Scottish, or something like that. Yeah, the ones who went on the East Coast. Yes. LMS, yes. See, I can be vigilant. AWS, that's your cue. London, Midland, Scottish, yes, there you go. That's somewhat right. And yes, I do still need to put railings along here as well. Building crew, Cheshire, England, for the LMS. Well, there you go. Also, in the interest of saving time, I will not be stopping at the stations this time round. Well, until we get to Aylesbury, of course. There's the Morpeth board. At least us Americans have the fastest ocean speed record, but not the steam locomotives. Well, that is debatable. It is debatable. And lots of people do, in fact, debate it. I love it when they announce that, and I'm on the train. No, they won't be stopping at the stations. Yeah. That will be skipping all stops. Yeah, especially on Amtrak trains that only have 5 stops on a coast-to-coast train. I'm joking. Partially. I also tried having more variety in terms of what tree assets I put down around town. Also, I do have lots of cameras, including internal ones, which are nice. I always like it when coaches and passenger, power cars have internal cameras as well, like in the seats, the seating area. Actually, tell you what, when we get to Aylesbury, let's drive that short little section that meets up with the canal on the right, under the motorway bridge, because we're already there, so we might as well do that. It'll only take a minute or two. Also, the nice thing about the hills on the left there is that the railway actually goes through those hills. So those aren't just decorative in the distance hills, those are up close decorative hills. Copy that, thanks. Because Aylesbury is designed to allow trains that come in here to go back into the city the other way. So there are crossovers here. I hate distant scenery, hills, Grumpy Smurf. Ah ha ha ha. That's nice. Whistlebot Paradise? Yes, I know, but we're not going to be crossing that level crossing. We're going to be stopping in the station because we're going to be turning around the other way. Yeah, if I stop here now, then the level crossing is going to raise again. Which on the one hand, that is great, because I do want traffic to be able to cross over if there's just a train stopped in the station. But on the other hand, if I started rolling again, the crossing would never close before the train's able to make it across. Plus, I'm not sure if I want it this way or the other way, because if I do have it so that it keeps down, the alarm bells are, like the alarm siren noise is still going to be continuously going as long as there's a train in here. And since this station has like connections with other lines, you could be stopped here for a couple minutes and then just constantly having to hear that sound might not be preferable to it closing too late. I don't know. Anyway. Right, so let's head out this way. Actually, hold on, is that? Yeah, okay, I need to do that still, that's fine. Come on, you can go. Yeah, there we go. Ten and 4 in that hand. Actually, hold on, it's even quieter in the cab view. Will this train get animated wipers that automatically turn on during rain? Probably not. It would be nice, but... Or possibly in an update? I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it's likely. I'm gonna go bye-bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye, Mickey. Thanks for coming. I really like this bit. Imagine just walking along there, up top, and just seeing the trains rush by underneath. Right, so this is as far as I wanted to take the train, but I guess we can just let it come to a stop somewhere along there. Right, now it's time to take that little diesel and take it on the little diesel branch, which just is that little loop that comes back in. And also switch that. There we go. Hold on, I need to go back over. Yay, 158 time. Yeah, here we are. Can't really see much out of the cab, so at the moment I'm going to be driving from the exterior view. Like here, I mean, I'm not even all the way at the end of the platform, but like here, if I start accelerating a little bit, still not going down. There we go. It's starting to go down now. I mean, here it's not terrible, but if the train started there, then by the time it's here, it would be beginning to go down. Oh, did I not? Oh, I guess I didn't. There we go. Oh, Darensnovich. I'm back. Where's the tries here? iPad ran out of battery. Oh, hello. Welcome. Yeah, it does look a bit dangerous. Got the old semaphore shunt signal. And then the old, well, newer color light shunt signal. And yes, I do need to put a speed limit sign there. But those are the sort of things that I will inevitably catch at the latest when I'm making the sessions. Also, thanks for the follow yesterday, Aderosnovich. Not sure why the notification pop didn't come through. I may look into that. Actually, I might have started decelerating a little bit late there. Not used to the handling of this train. Also, yes, the branch semaphore signals do work. And I did also do the trick that Eagle does as well with the fields, where they're angled if they're going around the curves. There's also another little detail there with a church, just in the countryside over there. Also, some of the semaphore distant signals do have that issue where they only register that the train's approaching when the train's really close. And so they will say red until you get really right up close. You can get around that if you put an invisible signal after it, but then it won't register if there's a train beyond the invisible signal in that block, I don't think. Right, so now we are approaching the little station of Hextor, which is the name of the tor in the distance there. And also, of course, Hextor is the name of the town as well. We'll have a little look around here when the trains come to a stop, and then we'll continue. Yeah, see, that signal still says waiting for train to approach. So it's still not registered that the train's approaching. And it's only... Hold on. Now it's registered. Oh, the train's approaching. I guess I've got to turn to green. Okay, so let's stop the train here. So this is Hextor. Huh, only the back one's opened. Interesting. Anyway, so you've got... Well, yeah. You've got an old kind of factory or something over here where they quarried in a little bit. Still got the old turntable and shed. Then you've got a couple houses up here, which a few cottages as well, which this is the road that comes over the hill and then under the hill and... No, not under the hill, that's a different thing. Over this bridge, over the other line that was there. So you can actually see that cottage up there, which is the bit of Hextor, where you've got a beautiful view down there. Then the road goes underneath the railway, where yes, if you're pedestrian, you do have to briefly walk on the road. That's unavoidable here. Yeah, and then you've got some hay bales, you've got, of course, a tavern with some lovely lights in the tree that do glow at night as well. And then you've got the little town of Hextor, well, village. Got a little post office, got the streets, you've got some shops. You've got, in the middle of it, you've got a farmhouse with a barn, because, well, it's been there for ages, so yeah. Then, of course, you also have a church with flowers. And yeah, you've just got a whole bunch of buildings around it where you could really imagine to be living, I think. Whether or not it's a fun thought for you is another matter. Also, you've got this big kind of manor house, almost, that's almost certainly as old, if not older than the church. Got a little gas station, petrol station, and they've got a little, tiny little inn at the crossroads there. This road that goes off this way, well, that'll just go from the countryside, don't look too closely at that. But this road goes past the little church here, which is the church that we saw from the tracks over there. And you've also got this little road that goes up the hill, and that goes past another little cottage. This one's just going to skirt around the edge down there. But if you actually look at the Hextor itself, you can see they put a little chapel up here next to it, where there probably was an old pagan holy site up here, because, I mean, if you've got this in your landscape, and you've got a view that's you can see as far as you can from here, all the way around, even all the way to the river down there and all the way, then that's going to have a special meaning to people. And so they put a Christian chapel up here, so which is the thing that they did a lot in the real world as well. I'll read chat in a bit. So yeah, that is Hextor, pretty much. Okay, I'll read chat. Also, thanks for the... Alright. Typically, the signal would be on the platform end protecting the crossing, and then you can hold the signal red until the crossing is lowered, but you need to be able to hint that the train is about to move somehow. Well, yeah, well, with the TRC things, like, well, in scripted sessions, I could do that. Like, if I had, like, underground, a little circle of invisible track or something, I could have a TRC trigger for the crossing on there, and then if the train... Also, there's a tunnel here where you go through. And then if the session is, like, on a timetable, and I know the player is supposed to depart at, like, 10 past, then at, like, 9 past, I can make that AI train on the little circle of track under the ground start to go around in a circle, which would trigger that trigger to then close the crossing. So I can do that. And for scripted sessions where the player is going to be departing on time, that's fine. If the player is late, then the crossing is going to be lowered far too soon. It's just going to stay lowered, which I'm not sure I can do anything about that. With multiplayer sessions or free roam sessions or stuff like that, that's where it's going to get really difficult doing any sort of thing like that, because then it's unpredictable. I don't know when the player is going to be departing or getting there. So, yeah. But with scripted sessions that are on a timetable, that's no issue. Also, hold on, is that? Oh, right, I need to switch a switch. This one. Absolutely love this. Yeah, it's nice. Also, a little bit more detail. So there is this little stream that runs through the valley here. And the stream just goes off map back here somewhere. Yeah, that's fine. But over here, if you follow the stream upstream, so to say, there are a couple of fords along here somewhere. Where? Oh yeah, here. So the ford here, and you can see they put a little bit of driftwood down there that kind of got stuck on the fence in a storm or something, because they don't want cattle to leave the field, and there's a little bit more there as well. Just a tiny little detail. It only took like a minute to add anyway. Shed ice. Put a BR class 14 onto that little shed. What was that? Was that a little diesel, or what was BR class 14? Was that like the little diesel hydraulic one, or no? No. I don't remember what that was. Sorry. Oh no, was it? I always get confused with these numbers. Oh wait, or was that the one, like that diesel in Thomas the Tank Engine is? Teddy bear diesel hydraulic shunter thing. Oh, it is the diesel hydraulic thingy. There you go. Oh, and there's the link. Ah, yeah. No. Because the industry is no longer in use as far as I'm aware. Many different versions on the D-list. Yeah. Fireweed patch. Sure it is. Maybe add dirt texture around the one bell pub. I'm not sure. Because it's so small, people aren't really going to be parking around there. If people want to go up there from the village, then they can walk that little distance. Plus, it's so far away that you don't really see it much anyway. It's also well thought out. Yes, thank you. Absolutely beautifully. Be right back. If you end before I come back, good night. Yeah, well, we'll see. Bye, have a nice good night. Apart from both being diesel hydraulic, the BR14 teddy bear has nothing to do with it. Alright. Oh, wait. Nothing to do with the BR35 vertical bear. No, I didn't mean that bear. I meant like the diesel. The diesel that's called diesel. Also, I've overshot the platform. But yeah, now we're back up here, and we've got this beautiful view with the ocean in the distance. And we've got like 4 minutes left, so I think we should, since we're already driving, I think we should just drive down to Hepperswaite or something. And we'll see. We've only got like 4 minutes left. Might be nice. So yeah, here the electrification will end. So the trains that are coming from the terminus will end here, allow for interchange with the main line down there, and then we'll go back the way they came. Hello, welcome, Abuk. The little diesel trains will continue this way. We've already driven here. There's nothing new down there, but we've only got like 3 minutes left, so might as well. Yeah, there will be railings added on that bridge, yes. In real life, I do dislike these loud and smoky diesels. Yeah, they can be uncomfortable. especially if you want to talk with someone. Lord Ben's diversion and the Lord Ben's manor down there. We've got Sorbmuth in the distance, well, Greater Sorbmuth in the distance. Little request stop where these people are waiting for the next train, not this train. Should I? Yeah, okay, that. Chiltern Railways has a bunch of loud ones. Alright, 168s, aren't they? I don't know. Oh, let's have a very brief look. Oh, I see. I also really like I really like curved viaducts. They are tricky to make, but they do add a lot, I find. Also, yes, that is another old castle on the hill back there. Also, I'm speeding. And yes, there's an old quarry here too, which may or may not have been connected with the old factory or mill by Hextor. Who knows? .158s are great. 150s are noisy. Yeah, well, they are noisy. I am quite fond of these. Was just used them my entire life, pretty much. Love this part of the route too. Yeah. And like these trains, like this line, will go all the way down to Oscombe Town. Not Oscombe Beach, because Oscombe Beach doesn't have crossovers to turn around. But Oscombe Town does, so that's where these ones will go. And that's where they will have connections with services that run along the seawall from French Port all the way to Hadley Head. Also on this little bridge here I did put fireweed and little flowers to make it look a bit more interesting from the bottom. I did show this previously, but yeah, I'm still really happy with that. Right, and so here we are approaching Hepperswave. Charlotte, will the diesel services be operated by different operators than the third rail ones? I don't think so. If I can get permission to reskin like the diesel units, then it'll be the same operator. Although there may be different liveries for diesel and non-diesel. Like I do also intend to have like special liveries for like special trains. Like for example, the express from the capital down to Hadley Head, like the coast train, stuff like that, like for tourists and things, that I do want to have special livery for. Yeah, so here we are, Hadley Head. Not Hadley Head. Hadley Head's like back there. Here we are in Hepperswave. They can see Hepperswave. Also, here is the goat petting area, so you've got goats. Also, on this map, there is a crocodile or alligator hidden somewhere on this map. So, yeah, well, you'll have to find that. Also, they've got an orchard, they've got hazelnut trees, they've got cherry trees, they've got peach trees, they've got these trees, they've got apple trees, flowers, benches, parking area. You do a whole day's visit over here if you like. Also, the goats do have a little thing where they can climb, and they've got some shelter in here if it gets stormy, so they can go inside. And then, of course, this continues over the crossing and between the fields. And then connects up with the main line over here that goes... it goes past, what was it, Pennycampton, I think? Pennycampton and Duckley and Three Trees up that way. And then it goes to, well, it depends. If you want to go, well, you're going to go through Oscombe either way. You might go through Oscombe Town or Oscombe Beach, and then either through Oscombe Beach and then to Hadley Head or Oscombe Town, and then along past Greater Sorbmouth, Eisenbridge, Midgeswich, and then up to Frenchport. So, yeah. So in conclusion, I realize I didn't give you a proper, like a zoomed out view of what I've built. So the stuff from here, that's new. The stuff along here, pretty much all new. Over here, all of this stuff along there. The stuff back there as well, that little bit. All the way along here. And this is what took the vast majority of the time building this. But yeah, this going along there. And I've almost connected it up to the terminus as well. Also, yes, I do have planted trees along this road going through here. And yes, it does have a roundabout on it. Anyway, I'll read chat and then I will end the stream. Actually, I'll give you a view sort of like that. There you go. So, well, Marquee made a 153 and 155, so those would be great to reskin, I think, if permission is granted. Yeah, that would be great. And Sparky's 151 and 152 are reskinable too, I think, as he's lost the files to them. Yeah. Cute. The goats, yeah. Goat petting area. Every route needs a goat petting area. I mean, what about your route? You need to add one then. Crocgator? Is it named Jaws? No, it doesn't have a name. If I named the object, then all you'd have to do is zoom out and look at where the named object is. The Easter eggs are not named. You are welcome to reskin my 153, 145 if you want. Thank you very much. Oh, Bruce. Yay. Would love to help out with that, with the reskins. Well, that will probably be very handy. Thank you. Shredders, maybe I could start with repainting the details before your 465 is complete. If you could do a quick sketch of the livery for me to take as reference. Well, I'll probably only be able to decide on what I want the livery to look like if I can see it on my train and play around with it and see what it looks like, to then decide on what it's properly going to be like. That's what it was like with the MVR reskins as well. Absolutely incredible work. So much stuff in the city. It's really something. Thank you. And before you end, what in Trainz should I stream tomorrow? Sessions or Inselbahn? Centrally Mini? You choose. Thanks for the stream. Kango votes C Mini, but you. C Mini, well, I guess there you go. C Mini, I take it. It's unanimous. Sure it is, unless you named the gator Tree Birch 01 or something obscure like that. No. Because trees aren't named on the map view. It would still show up as a name, and if the name is... like, if it were something... I know that certain bridge assets have names that show up on the map, unfortunately, so you've got to manually remove those. But, yeah, that would still draw attention to it, so no. Just tree. I should reskin your 4865 into Central Trainz too. Sure. Okay, yeah. Also, what time? Good question. Yeah, I think 3 p.m.'s probably gonna be good. I think. UTC. Maybe. Actually, maybe 2 p.m. UTC. I think would be better. An hour earlier, I think. Anyway, if that's okay. Good. Thank you. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I've got OBS ready to end. And good night. Bye-bye. Thank you all for watching. It's been lovely having you in chat.